What do we got? We got us as Grifka over for the team 1. We got us as Grook over for the team 1, as well as the Fury Warrior. We got Wizard over here, send him some food for the homies. We got us a Scoop as a Rogue, and the Savage looks like gonna be first up as a Red Paladin. I did like the mod you got going on, like minus the shoulders. You just look like a crystal man. Just a crystal paladino. It's gonna be a holy sire of the bad Pally versus Pally. Over for the team 2, we got us this huge button. We got ourselves Obliv on the monk. We got Miko, the Affliction Warlock, and Ran Shiro. Big old Pepe on his head. As on the Holy Death Knight. As Holy Sire trying to see if we can get him some, maybe a counter go versus Savage. Both of them tricking it out. And this is where Savage decided, you know what, maybe I want to try to see if we can walk away from Holy Sire for just a second. Try to go for the bubble, maybe max out the damage, using the defense really early on. Could put him in a bad situation later, especially as Holy Sire has been able to survive a lot of his bursts so far. He's going to go for the full blind. Savage is limited to what he can really do, trying to see if he can deny any kind of damage for a short moment. 4 and 4 seconds after he uses that new blinding light by the Paladin, a new PvP talent as well. He is basically missing all of his attacks and abilities for the next 4 seconds. That's going to be a full stun. Savage does not have it out. I think it might be over for the Savage. Oh, he does go for the hide at the end. But Holy Sire is able to get himself a bit of a blaster and damage at the very last second. Bubble immediately. Does he have a stun for Grifka? Grifka ends up walking over Consecration while vanishes out. Maybe get it randomly out in the open. Looks like he does still see him either way though. Stun to Grifka is not going to be enough to take him down though. Grifka ends up going for a trinket into a disarm onto Holy Sire. Still got himself the Wake of Ashes. Doesn't need a weapon for this one. Evasion to follow. Trying to go for a blind. But looks like someone was able to break his blind immediately. Stun by Grifka. Does himself the big go. Got himself the secret technique. Big damage onto Holy Sire. Isn't enough though. Looks like the man got plenty of heal in order to catch up. Grifka needs himself a little bit more damage. Then it's going to be a wall for Holy Sire. Blind to follow, force him chicken out of the Paladin. Vanish out of the Rogue, or rather shut him up. But looks like he's still going to be able to catch him with a gouge to follow. Does Holy Sire maybe end up closing the gap? Because he definitely needs to get over there with Grifka. As Grifka trying to make sure he got as much control as he can over Holy Sire. Blessing of protection. Grifka getting hit with a stun. Does Holy Sire take him in right here? Grifka does have advantage, so get out of this one. As long as Holy Sire does not find him, he might be okay. Picking up the eyes immediately. Holy no longer has himself any immunities. It's an opportunity for Grifka to potentially make a big play. Throwing out a Judgment. That's going to be a Blade of Justice. It's got himself a Consecration. Going to be a cheap shot by the Rogue. Holy, does he have any more defenses? That secret could be the end of it. Oh, does end up taking him down. Immediate grip by Ren Shiro. Trying to see if he can just capitalize the damage of Grifka. Got his goal rushing after the Rogue. But I think the Rogue is going to go for Cloak, trying to see if he can escape. I do love those eyes right now, the red inside of the Cloak of Shadows. That looks menacing. Red rushing in, trying to see if they can maybe find the Rogue in here. He's going to throw in a random dot. That's going to be also, that's a little unfortunate. He did drop in the, the A-bomb in there, in case the A-bomb does end up getting the Rogue out. But Grifka was nowhere near, so I guess Cooper just has to dismantle things little by little. Cheap shot by the Rogue. Does he have some secret technique? Potentially. Does have big secret technique. 100% crit. IBF on a Ren. Did end up burning an IBF together with a trinket. That is a little unfortunate. Gouged by Grifka, trying to see if he can escape the army of the undead. That is going to be the main goal, charging out towards Grifka. Ran definitely needs to summon up the undead army. Trinket for Grifka off of that stun into a blind, still surrounded by the gargoyle as well as the main goal that's still transformed. And Ren trying to finally get himself a proper angle. He's just zooming all over the place. What is going on here? This guy's everywhere and nowhere. Got himself full army. Grifka's gonna have to see if he can burn through Ren before the army can take him down. It's gonna be Lichborn trying to see if he can keep himself alive. Chain of Ice on Grifka. Oh, the eviscerates do go through though. Yes, I'll believe this doesn't get over there and just give him a little love tap. Is he in touch of death range? I'll be honest. If he's not in touch of death, vanish. Oh no. But now the Rogue gives himself a full reset. Is there eyes available? 1 eye, 2 eyes are available. The pair of eyes is up, and if Obliv picks him up early on, he might be okay. Open door to Obliv, secret technique to follow. Mad damage right now, taking a lot of hits. Obliv is not in a great spot at the moment. In capital Grifka, has himself a big leg sweep. Is going to go for the gouge, but he can't really get out. Is being a trigger for Obliv. I don't really know if he really wanted to get out of that one. Oh, the Zoanna's out, trying to see if he can pick up the eyes. This is where Grifka can maybe make a play. The fact that you just trinketed may put you behind them. I believe definitely needs to catch up to Grifka. Needs to get a leg sweep off. And it's going to be cheap shot immediately by Grifka. I don't think he has a lot of damage for Obliv at the moment though. He does have cheap shots, so he got a lot of control. Karma to follow, so Obliv can at least delay any kind of damage from Grifka. Blind right after. If he keeps you low without blind, that I think is just over. I don't think there's any way for you to tussle down the rogue, because he does have no trinket. Orcish ratio is going to help him a little bit, but it is heavily reduced in PvP now. 50% DR, so 50% effect is reduced. It's not as strong. I mean, those cheap shots with Eviscerates, Grifka, that's enough for him to be able to take you down. Plenty. More than enough. Mikkel is going to be up next, trying to see if he can get himself a better angle versus Grifka. Grifka trying to see if he can get himself a better angle versus Mikkel. Mikkel picking up the eyes. Is he going to be able to get a full set of dots on the rogue? Because last week he's been able to deal with the rogue. Is he able to dot him as he goes in for a gouge cheap shot? So Grifka switching now from kidney shots into cheap shots instead. That's actually very interesting. Just cheap shots actually doing a lot of value over kidneys, because he's able to go for cheap shot and commit a lot more of those calm points into just eviscerates and secret techniques. Lots of damage on Miko. Trying to see if he can rod down Grifka. Grifka does go in for a vanish, but it's going to cut down the cooldown of certain of his defenses. Does have blind back up very quickly, but he's still under a ton of pressure. He's still dotted up. He's still veering in and out of stealth. If Miko can get himself a good angle, maybe with a Mortal Call, he might be able to make someone work. Trying to go for a Shot of Fury, but Miko's at no help whatsoever. He does have a human racial, but Rogue has a trinket as well. So it's not really in his court right now whatsoever. Thinking about picking up the eyes, but Grifka definitely has the angle over the guy. There's your proper go. Got himself cheap shot, immediate human racial for Miko. Got himself a slow into Grifka. I think it's over, right? Oh, it is over. I swapped over to the wrong guy at the last second. That was unfortunate. Sheet Button gonna be up next. It's gonna be him versus Rogue, man. Can he finally topple the Rogue down? Can he be the champion Team 2 needs? Or is Grifka just gonna end up taking out everybody over here? Yeah, Grifka's not gonna come out in the open at all. He's waiting until every single one of his codes are up, or until Huge Button goes to pick up the eyes and takes 5% more damage. There's no way, right? I think at this point for Huge Buttman, the going into high dampening isn't ideal, but I think picking up the eyes and having to play around the Rogue also isn't ideal. Lasso immediately, trying to see if he can maybe bait up a trinket out of the Rogue. Rogue has a cloak, has one vanish. It's going to be a cloak of shadows really early on. Trying to see if he can make a play. Huge Buttman does go in for the trinket, trying to see if he can drop down some totems. Does he have a knockback totem for the Rogue? Does go for Primordial. Lava Burst flying in. Blind to follow. Does establish quite a bit of damage onto the Rogue, but the blind is definitely going to send him back a little bit. Can he somehow maybe get the Rogue flame shocked again? He does need to go for a root around the corner if possible. That would help out a lot. Does drop down root totem, stabbed by the Rogue. If he goes left, he'll definitely run to the root totem. I don't think he's going to. I think he's just saying over here, knockback, maybe by root totem, maybe they just have, oh, knockback again. Does going for a shadow step. Cheap shot onto Huge Buttman. Maybe in a lot of trouble. I think maybe over. Oh! The Rogue won it all. Rogue played super safe. 1v5? I didn't even realize Grifka went for a proper 1v5 there. Well then, Team Grifka, everybody on Team Grifka didn't really get to play, did they, huh? Sorry, Koopa. You never really get